Hello and welcome back, my friends. Today I wanted to discuss the difference between organic and non-organic fertilizer, and is it okay to apply non-organic conventional fertilizers to your food garden? So each year about this time I have to make a decision as the fruit trees begin to awaken. Do I want to offer them a little bit extra feed in order to ensure that I have the most healthy, productive fruit tree that I can grow? So far, most years, I haven't applied any additional fertilizer to my fruit trees. And that's simply because I'm so focused on building quality soil full of all the nutrients that the plant needs that supplementation isn't always on the forefront of my mind. But that being said, I look at fertilizing the garden using commercial fertilizers as a supplement, very similar to your daily vitamin that you might take, just to ensure that you're crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's, covering the bases, so to speak, so that we know there's no deficiencies that could possibly develop due to a lack of certain vitamins or minerals that aren't present in our diet. Well, in my opinion, fertilizer in the garden is very similar in that manner, that the fertilizer is really there as a backup plan to make sure that there's no deficiencies that develop in your trees or other plantings throughout your garden. So this year I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I'm going to actually be fertilizing my fruit trees with just a conventional fertilizer. I know some of you are probably shocked at that. I've spoken many times on the channel about how my aim is to really go beyond organic, better than organic, and do the best I can to produce the most natural food possible. With that being said, again, I want to make the comparison to a daily vitamin and fertilizer for the garden. Does your daily vitamin say organic on the label? Well, if it does, I'm happy for you. If it doesn't, then you're in the majority. Most people's vitamins don't say organic on it. And many of the components that make up the vitamin are synthetically based. Well, same is true with the fertilizers. Non-organic fertilizer tend to be synthetic based, although it may also be a blend including organic natural products as well. And organic fertilizers tend to be natural products like bone meal, poultry manure, potash. Another difference is that the synthetic or conventional fertilizers on the market tend to have a faster reaction with the plant. They break down faster and absorb into the plant's roots quicker. That could be good or not so good depending on your situation. With organic fertilizers, you tend to get more of a slow feed, and I'm mainly speaking about granular fertilizers. When it comes to the liquid form, you're pretty much in the same boat there. So this year I picked up a case of these fertilizer fruit tree spikes by 𝗙𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗂. What I really like about this is because it's been compressed into a spike, and the way you apply it around the drip line of the tree, it's going to give you a much more slow release. So you may add a few more spikes later in the year, or one application might serve your needs depending on the size of your tree. But the simplicity of it, the easy long-term storage, if you're storing fertilizer can have a tendency to clump up and sometimes even become moldy. So having these spikes made for quick and easy storage if I want to have some stockpiled for later use. And you can buy these spikes in smaller packs as well. But the directions to install are the same. Nonetheless, for every 1 to 2 inch diameter of trunk, 2 spikes. And you can see by the illustration there, you just go around the drip line, which is basically the edge of where your branches reach out to. That's where the feeder roots are located, and you just tap them down, never any closer than 30 inches from the trunk. And this has an NPK of 8-11-11, and you can see this is derived from ammonium phosphate, ammonium sulfate, potassium chloride, and it reads, 𝗙𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗂 fertilizer spikes are formulated to provide nutrients fruit and citrus trees need to grow and thrive. 𝗙𝗃 spikes come pre-measured to provide just the right amount of nutrients without surface fertilizer runoff. Just hammer spikes into the soil under the plant's drip line, and 𝗙𝗃𝗁𝗍𝗂 does the rest. So with that being said, now you all know that yes, I am going to be fertilizing my fruit trees this year. This is how I'm doing it. So now you're in the loop. You can follow along as we go forward here. Let's see if I made a wise decision. This should be obviously clear by the overall health and vigor and the abundance of the fruits being set on these fruit trees. something else I want to mention is that early on, when I first began designing this backyard food forest garden, I was what you might call a purist or a perfectionist when it came to what I brought into the garden. I wanted to make sure 100% of any material that came in was completely natural and organic. The only thing that's really changed is that over the last decade of experience, the research that I've done, the conclusion I've come to is that when it comes to supplemental fertilization in the garden, synthetic versus organic, I think it really just comes down to your preference, availability, the economics, meaning the price point between the products. But besides that, I really don't see a big difference. Now, this is my opinion, so take it with a grain of salt. I do encourage you guys to go out there, do your research, come up with your own conclusions and decide what's right for you in your garden. But I just want to bring this back to the earlier discussion about vitamins and supplementations. You know, there was a study that came out of the University of California, Santa Barbara from Science Line, and what they did is they compared all natural organic vitamins with synthetic vitamins, and what they found is that the human body utilized both types in the same way, so there wasn't a notable difference. That's the way I see supplementation, fertilization in the garden. Now, as always, I love hearing back from you guys, your thoughts, your opinions on the matter. Even if you just want to stop by to say hi, we sure do appreciate you not only taking the time to view the video, but to connect with us with a brief message. So thank you all for watching. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time, this is Dan from PlantAbundance.com. Take care. I'll be talking to you again soon.